What if Einstein never existed? What would the world be like without this man who changed our reality forever? It'd probably be pretty hard to navigate. Well, it might be even harder to imagine the existence of things like GPS or fiber optics. Did you know that these modern inventions are all based on his work? And though he may have been a genius, he was also just a regular guy with quirky habits and an interesting past. Let us take a look at some lesser-known facts about one of the most brilliant scientists of our time. No. 1. He struggled in school. Though he eventually won the Nobel Prize for Physics, Einstein had humble beginnings. He didn't start speaking until he was almost 4 years old and couldn't read until he was 7. He failed his entrance exam to the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School on his first try and flunked several other exams throughout his life. Despite his obvious intelligence, he often felt inadequate compared to others his age. Although he was naturally gifted, he emphasized the importance of hard work and preparation in order to succeed. Number 2. Here comes trouble. At age 15, young Albert moved in with his family friend, Aunt Anna, so he could finish high school. But there was just one problem. He hated her rules and got into constant trouble for breaking them. He was frequently sent home from school for fighting with teachers. And when his aunt found out that he'd been smoking, she punished him by making him sleep on the floor. But even these hardships weren't enough to keep him from his studies. He still managed to graduate top of his class at the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School. Number 3. Relativity. In 1905, Albert Einstein published his theory of relativity, which changed everything we knew about space, time, and gravity. But despite its groundbreaking implications, what does relativity actually mean? Let's break it down. Imagine you're standing on a train platform waving at a train as it passes by. To you, it appears to be moving very quickly. However, to someone sitting inside the train, it seems like they're standing still while you're moving. This is called relative motion because it depends on your perspective. So, how can we measure speed? Scientists define it as the distance something travels over the amount of time it takes to get there. So if the train is moving, then time must be passing slower for those inside than those outside. This means that time isn't absolute but rather depends on your frame of reference. That's why clocks near very massive objects like black holes can actually tick slower than those far away. As Einstein famously said, only those who can see the invisible can do the impossible. Number 4. His hidden secrets. While Albert Einstein's brain was donated to science, it wasn't properly preserved. So what happened to it? Well, the story goes that one night someone broke into the building where it was being held and stole it. To this day, nobody knows where the thief hid Einstein's brain or why they did it in the first place. Some believe that they wanted to prove once and for all that he was actually a genius. Others say that they were just obsessed with the scientist and wanted to be close to him somehow. Whatever the reason, this bizarre tale has only added to Einstein's mystique over the years. There are other little-known secrets about Albert Einstein's life that many people aren't aware of. For example, he had a secret daughter named Lisa who was born out of wedlock and given up for adoption. He also had a strange habit of carrying a magnifying glass in his pocket so he could examine things up close. Additionally, he liked to wear colorful socks with mismatched patterns on each foot. But perhaps the most surprising fact is that Albert Einstein was offered the presidency of Israel but turned it down. No. 5. How Einstein shaped our world. Born in 1879, Albert Einstein died over 50 years ago. Yet his influence on the world we live in today is undeniable. Without his theories, we wouldn't have GPS systems, solar panels, or quantum physics research. His work has literally changed the way we see the universe. As one of the most influential scientists of all time, he left behind a legacy that continues to shape our world. From the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, we owe much of what we know about the cosmos to his genius. So let us take a moment to remember and celebrate Albert Einstein and the incredible contributions he made during his lifetime. Thanks to him, today we can explore and understand our world like never before. Number 6. Einstein, the violinist. Albert Einstein was passionate about music and played the violin beautifully. He began learning at age 6 and by age 9 was performing publicly. Music was such an important part of his life that he even considered becoming a musician. He continued playing throughout his life and was known to practice for hours on end. Einstein believed that music and science were interconnected and that understanding music could help scientists better understand the world around them. He once said, "If I were not a physicist, I would be a musician." Number 7. The case of the missing socks. One of Albert Einstein's most endearing quirks was his habit of wearing odd socks. Throughout his life, he was known to mix and match patterns and colors, which made for some rather unusual combinations. But there was a method to his madness. Einstein simply couldn't bear to part with any of his colorful socks, so he would often just throw another pair on rather than discard any. This resulted in him sporting mismatched socks on each foot, a truly iconic look that has become synonymous with the great scientist. But it turns out that Einstein's odd sock habit wasn't just a quirky fashion statement. It was actually a way for him to cope with the pressures of fame. In a world where everything is constantly changing, one thing remains constant: Albert Einstein's socks. May we all find comfort in our own unique ways of coping with life's challenges. Number 8. President Einstein. Did you know that Albert Einstein was once offered the presidency of Israel? It all happened after the State of Israel was established in 1948. Many prominent Jewish leaders and thinkers were asked who should lead the new nation. And many turned to Albert Einstein. After all, he was arguably the most famous Jewish scientist of the time and a respected voice around the world. But Einstein declined the offer, saying that he was more interested in advancing scientific research than getting involved in politics. Instead, he suggested that his friend and fellow scientist, Chaim Weizmann, should be Israel's first president. While Einstein never served as president of Israel, he remained a passionate supporter of the country throughout his life. He famously said, "I feel as though I have been appointed to a position of great trust by the people of Israel, a trust which I shall do my best to justify." We hope you enjoyed learning more about the untold stories of Albert Einstein. His life and work continue to inspire and amaze us today, and we're sure you feel the same way. That's why we encourage you to follow along so you don't miss any future videos. Who knows? You may just discover something that changes your perspective on the world around you. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and join the movement. Together, we can explore the untold stories of history's greatest minds and uncover the secrets that made them so successful. Don't miss out. Subscribe now, and let the adventure begin. Point 9. Albert Einstein's legacy of curiosity. Albert Einstein's impact on the world was immeasurable. Not only did he revolutionize our understanding of the universe, but he also embodied a spirit of curiosity and creativity that continues to inspire us today. His inquisitive nature and willingness to challenge conventional wisdom led him to make groundbreaking discoveries that changed the course of history. But Einstein's legacy goes beyond his scientific achievements. He was a man who never stopped asking questions, who was always eager to learn something new, and who had the courage to think outside the box. In a world that often values conformity and obedience, Einstein stood out as a beacon of individuality and nonconformity. He showed us that it's okay to be different, that it's important to follow your passions, and that the pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey. In the words of Albert Einstein, the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new about Albert Einstein. If you're looking for more videos of history's greatest minds, stay tuned.